of you the most awaited one-shot revision lecture, that is Business Head. For inter, final, CA, CMA, all the exams, you can use this. Just watch this. I'm not saying now, but just watch completely. Then if you feel that you have understood one concept, one problem, one concept, one problem, then like, share it with at least 5 of your friends and subscribe. So many more classes are going to be there live for top 50 questions for MCQs, right? So let us quickly begin. This is a complete revision of the Business Head with alert signs that the common mistake you should not make. And for this revision, I'm using this Sarthi compiler, right? This is a very nice book wherein one concept, one problem you will see now while I'm using. Scientific research, one concept, question answer. Okay. Preliminary expense question, and then it is combined. And let me first cover the allowed and disallowed. Then another 20 minutes ke baad, I'll give you a list of just 2 add and 2 less, 4 items. Your all confusions will be clear that in exam this should be add or less. I hope you all remember the paper pattern, whether it is CMA or CA exam. Business Head is compulsory asked in question number 1. And definitely we will check the list in default tax regime what is allowed, and if you opt out of the default tax regime, then what is allowed. That we will do it at the end. First, so let us check everything, right? Coming directly to the chargeability section. Section 28 says that you are doing business or profession, then enter this head. Like there's an owner and tenant relationship and there's a property. So you go in income from house property. Same way, if you're doing business or profession, right? Okay. Then enter this head. Chargeability section says that the profit you derive from business will be taxable, but that's book profit. There will be some expenses which you have debited. They are not allowed in income tax. So they are called as disallowed expense, inadmissible, right? So remove. If you remove the expenses, what's the impact on profit? Add. I'll explain this with an example, but just I'm sharing with all of you. Okay. And I will also tell you, like there's a small concept of ICDS, which is very small but very much relevant for MCQs. Like that small snippets also you will get it. So let us begin the complete revision of Business Head. Okay, here we are. The chargeability section says that if you are doing a business or you are a professional, then whatever income you get, it's going to be taxable here. Okay, 1 second. So profits and gains will be taxable here. Other than this, some other incomes are also there which are taxable. Like if you receive any profit, say you're a doctor, you have done operation of your friend, and rather than taking fees, say the friend has gifted you mobile phone, iPhone, or a tab. So whenever any perquisites are received in kind related to business, they'll be taxable here. Whenever you get duty drawback of refund of custom duty, it's a business income. Okay, this is very good. As a working partner in partnership firm, when you get the share of the profit, that share of profit received in the hands of the partner is exempt. Okay, but when the partner is getting interest, salary, bonus, commission, remuneration, is a working partner and he gets all this, then it's going to be taxable in business income. Working partner is not getting salary because there is employer-employee relationship. He's getting salary because it's a he's a working partner. And the relationship between partnership firm and partner is different than employer-employee. So whatever interest, salary, commission, remuneration is given, it will be taxable for the partner as business head, right? But if the firm has paid salary, say 2 lakhs, 120 is allowed. As per the rule, there is how much salary you can pay. We'll do it at the end. And there's also an amendment in that. So say 2 lakh salaries paid to partner, out of that 120 is allowed, 80,000 is disallowed in the hands of the firm only, so taxable in the hands of firm. So how much salary is going to be taxable in the hands of the partner? 120. Little in-depth example, take your time. Firm has put salary paid to partner 2 lakh in the P&L account debit side. Department said no, only 120 is correct. So 80,000 is disallowed or added in the income of the firm only, right? So how much salary income is going to be taxable in the hands of the partner? 120. So you might have learned business head, but bang on, I can say you will learn the things in depth in the coming 1 hour. Okay? Speculative income are taxable here separately, but of course taxable here only. Any sum received under keyman insurance policy by the employer himself, the company, is taxable here. Okay, right. And if any asset or anything is sold 100%, you have taken a deduction in the specified businesses. 35 AD के लिए, research के लिए you have got 4 laptops. And whole, you, even though it was capital expenditure, you have put in P&L. ठीक है, चलो. Later on it is discarded, and whatever income you receive, it's business income because you've completely debited in business. Last one, I have checked this. If the SSE is engaged in the business of letting out of the commercial properties, then income is going to be taxable here. Okay, right? So this is it. If it is your business of letting out of the income. Okay, right. Next now, certain business or profession speculation, that is fine. What is kept outside of speculative is given. Now, very important is while you compute business income under section 145, either you are going to follow accrual system or cash system. You can't follow hybrid system. In accounts, like we have accounting standards, in audit, like we have standards on auditing. Same way, here you have ICDS, Income Computation Disclosure Standards. Okay, right. So there are 10 income computation disclosure standards which are to be followed by the SSE while computing his business income and income from other sources. Rest all other incomes, it's not applicable. So only from applicability MCQs are asked. Yeah. ICDS are standards which are applicable to all the SSEs. In case of individual and HUF, it is applicable if their books of accounts are audited. If they follow mercantile system, it's applicable to compute business income as well as other sources. The standards are not for the purpose of books of accounts. The standards are for computation of income under the aforesaid heads of income only. So nice. ICDS has got nothing to do with your books of accounts. ICDS are used only to compute your income. And if there is a conflict, okay, Income Tax Act is applicable or ICDS is applicable और दोनों में conflict है, तो which one will prevail? Obviously, Income Tax Act. Remember the gist 5 points which are mandatory you should know for ICDS. ICDS is applicable to all the SSEs and individual and HUF. It is applicable if books of accounts are audited. ICDS is applicable if you are following mercantile system. ICDS is applicable when you are computing business income and other source income. है ना? Right. ICDS has got nothing to do with your books of accounts. You just, while computing the income, follow the ICDS more than enough. And last one, if there's a conflict in ICDS or in your Income Tax Act, which one will prevail? Yes, which one will prevail? Income Tax Act. So if you remember the 5 points, you can score good marks in MCQs. Names of ICDS are similar to AS. If you can learn, fine. Otherwise, don't worry. Now, this is the format. I'll go just little later. See, every head, I'll like start from this. This is like screenshot ले लो, लिख लो इसको, बहुत बहुत important है. 1 second, dear students. Now listen. If I ask to compute capital gain, sale consideration as per section 50C, tuck, 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 you'll go. If I say compute house property, GAV, less municipal taxes, NAV, you'll go. Now, if I ask to compute business income, you will start with net profit as per books. In books, you have prepared trading P&L account and net profit, right? But when you start with net profit, there you have charged depreciation as per books, asset wise. In the year of sale, also we charge depreciation in the books. But income tax, the way we charge depreciation is different. So then these are the four important benchmarks. If you can learn this, everything add less will be cleared. And then when I complete the chapter, I'll come back and read this list. Start with the net profit as per P&L account. Add expenses which are debited but disallowed. Okay. Debited and disallowed. For example, in your P&L account, you have debited municipal tax 30 rupees. This is allowed, but in house property, not here. So if you scratch this, say net profit is 50. If you scratch this, the profit will increase, no? So whenever personal expenses are debited, expense for other heads, depreciation as per books, add. Right? Add. Now, income which is related to business, you didn't credit, now credit. For example, this is your creditors account. So in creditors, you have purchase account debit to party 50. You paid him 41 rupees in full and final settlement to your creditor. Are you going to pay 9 rupees? No. Then put it in discount received and very well take it in your P&L account credit side. 9 rupees. Lay low. So it will be added. Okay, right. Now, expenses allowed, but you have not debited. Scientific research, revenue, capital expenditure is allowed. 3580 specified business, it's allowed, but you didn't debit. So now you debit. If you debit now, the profit will come down. So less. Expenses allowed, but not debited in the P&L account. Okay? So, if you debit, what will happen? Less. Are you all with me? Yeah. And last one is there will be some garbage, I call it. P&L account credit side, usually they write rent received 1 rupee, dividend received 5 rupees. ऐसे करके ना लिखते हैं. But then dividend received is not your income in P&L. It's income from other sources. Rent received is house property. So I call it as garbage. निकाल दो. Items credited in the P&L account credit side, but not related to business. Dividend received, rent received, profit on sale of asset you have credited, but it's a short-term capital gain, na fourth at mein jayega. There might be some exempt income also. So just less it. Most important is this add and this less. Take your time. I'll explain in one more way so that when I go to check up the problems, it should be clear. This book is also having quality good questions, one concept, one problem, and then past exam question also. Okay. Chalo. For this, I will give you one notes which I have made the students write. Here it is. Usually start the class with the depreciation and add and less. देखो फिर scientific research फिर question फिर preliminary expense फिर question. This is it. See, net profit as per P&L account is say 8 rupees. Now depreciation as per books and all is debited. So add back. Then creditors. Some incomes which have been credited, dividend and all. So less, right? Next is creditors account. I purchased 50, paid you 48. 2 rupees is income you have not taken. Take it. Income related to business not credited. Now you take it. And then we have the fourth example. Depreciation as per the block of the asset method. So whatever depreciation you have charged in books of accounts, add back. Whatever depreciation is allowed as per income tax, deducted. So this is quite detailed example in practice batch we write for you understand. Start with the net profit as per P&L account. Add all the expenses which are debited but they are not allowed. Scratch. If you scratch, what's the impact on profit? Add. There are some incomes, I call it garbage. They are credited in P&L account like IT refund. It's not business income. Profit on sale of furniture. No. Dividend received. No. So remove that. Because of that, the net profit is high. So like that. And depreciation as per block of asset method is allowed, but you didn't take it. Now, if you take the profit will reduce. Is this clear to all of you? So like this, add and less will give you the correct answer. Now, let us check the list of what is allowed under section 30 to section 37. This is the list which says that, okay, this is allowed, okay. So let us see that list. Section 30 says, if you use building for business purpose, then related to building. You remember in house property also 25% of the portion is used for business. So all 25% expenditures. See, if building is used for business, it's a business asset. Then related to that building, if you are paying rent for your office, you have taken building on rent. It's allowed. Repairs allowed. Insurance and taxes allowed. So for building, rent, repairs, insurance, taxes, all are allowed. Section 31. Expenses related to plant and machinery, furniture, any other asset which you are using for business related to that, insurance, repairs, rent is all allowed. Okay, section 31. Now, section 32 is depreciation. The gist of that, my writing is not so great, but I can bang on and say the best of the notes I have given. बस उतना याद कर लो. Depreciation, the way we charge in books is different from income tax, right? Depreciation in income tax is to be charged by owner. You're the owner of the asset, charge depreciation. It should be used for business. It is mandatory to charge depreciation. Ma'am, it's already a loss this year, I'll not charge. Array, you use the asset, no. Increase the loss, but still charge depreciation. So it's mandatory to charge depreciation. Yeah. Next is it general method allowed in income tax is WDV method. See, in accounts we study 5-6 methods. Unit produced method and SLM method. In income tax, only WDV method, except for power sector, some part you can follow SLM. Otherwise, the WDV. Depreciation is not charged asset wise in income tax. In income tax, you charge the depreciation block wise. Ma'am, then what is block? Block is group of assets having same nature and same rate of depreciation. For example, I have 2 plant and machinery. I purchased 5 more. Now I have 7. Out of that 3 is sold. Bas, aise. So the whole block of plant is merged, like a crumpled ball, paper ball. उसमें कोई अलग नहीं है. Oh, plant 2 is sold. In accounts, the we do separate. Plant 2 is sold, plant 4 is sold. No. In income tax, the depreciation is charged blockwise. First block is plant and machinery, which includes electronics. Suppose yours is a medical shop and you have refrigerator. or weighing machines. So some electronics are also there. They are a part of plant and machinery. And vehicles, four-wheelers, two-wheelers for delivery, if you have, it's a part. Second is furniture. It includes fitting, like here one AC point, four light point, two fan points, like that. Then third block is building, and then we have intangible. This numbering I have given just random for you to remember that there should be depreciation which is charged block wise. Plant and machinery, electronics, vehicle sub A, furniture and fittings, building, intangible assets. Yeah, patent, software, they are all intangible assets. Okay. Very important is in intangible assets, no depreciation is going to be charged from goodwill from 1st April 2020. So clear. Now, just now I told you, dear students, depreciation is to be charged block wise. So for the block, you will have opening WDV and purchases mention date. Ma'am, why date? In accounts, we charge the depreciation from day of purchase, 1st July, 1st September. In income tax, if the asset is used for more than 180 days, 100% depreciation. Full, whatever is the rate में अभी पढ़ाऊंगी आपको. Less than 180 days if the asset is used, 50% depreciation. Take a pause, dear students. In residential status, basic condition, it is 182 days. Here it is 180 days. More than 180 days, if the asset is used, 100% depreciation. Less than 180 days, 50%. Are you all with me? So, if you mention the date, no, it will be easier. Oh, this asset is purchased in January 25. It is just used for 3 months. Charge depreciation at the 50% of the original rate. Balance you get. Sale value. In the year of sale, no depreciation. Ma'am, but I have sold the asset on February 25. I used it for 11 months. No problem. In the year of sale, in accounts, we charge depreciation. In income tax, no depreciation. And then you get balance. On this, you are charging depreciation. That's why. I'm also continuously speaking. If you have any doubts, put it in chat box, unmute and speak up. And if you're watching as recording, make sure you give the feedback that, yeah, it is clear, or ma'am, at 25 minutes, 30 seconds, you have said this. What does that mean? Chalo. So opening WDV, then purchases, balance, minus the sales value, balance. Yeah. So on balance, you are charging the depreciation. Okay. So closing WDV you get. Okay. Right. Now they are saying less than 180 days. So 180 days we can calculate from March ke 31, February 28, like that. Reverse if you come. If you purchase the asset after 3rd October 24, then it is used for less than 180 days, 50% depreciation. That means even if the asset is purchased on 1st October, 100% jo bhi rate of depreciation, 50% nahi, 100%. Haan, but less than 180 days hai to 50%. Nice, clear, chalo. There are many rates I'll teach from the book also, but these are the rates you should remember. Okay, tell me orally. Ye dekho fir se. Depreciation is to be charged by owner. It should be used for business. Okay. Ready to put to use is enough. Like if you go in malls and supermarkets and big commercials, fire extinguishers are there on every floor. They are not used. They should not be used also. But they are ready to put to use. So do we charge depreciation even if it is ready to put to use? Yes. Not because it is used. If flux of time, wear and tear, समझ में आ रहा है. Yeah. What's the format? Opening WDV. Add the purchases with dates so that 180 days you will check. Balance. 1 second. Huh? In the balance, minus the sale value. Yeah, okay. And then what you get balance on that depreciation is charged. Now, some rates are really important, so I want you to learn with me. Important rates. Residential building, 5%. Commercial building, 10%. Temporary structures. Highest rate of depreciation in income tax is 40%. Furniture and fitting, 10%. Plant and machinery, motor car, electronics, 15%. Motor car given on hire, 30%. Normally, if you use motor car for business, it's 15%. But if the motor car is given on hire, it's 30%. Computer and related softwares, printers, and all, 40%. Books for the professionals, energy saving devices like windmill and all, also 40%. Ocean going ships, water sports के पास जो use करते हैं, 20%. And other intangible assets, 25%. Other than goodwill. इतने rates you have to learn बेटा, ठीक है? And then in practice batch we have solved questions. I'll come to additional depreciation. First, this much I know depreciation. Regular class ही एक पूरा लग गया था 2.5 hours with the concept, question answer. So this is the complete revision. In books, how do you charge in income tax? This is for your understand. Yeah. If there is any subsidy received in the actual cost, you reduce. Trial run income, you reduce. Interest till the asset is ready to put to use, like AS16 capitalize. All other expenses related to asset capitalize. GST added if you are not taking input tax credit. Okay? Chalo. So format I have told you. Now this is the best way to understand the ये format समझ में आया आपको? Right. No depreciation when a part of the asset is sold. The block will continue. And if the new asset is sold in the year of acquisition, to no. Whenever the whole block is sold, and if there is profit, it is called as short-term capital gain. If there is loss, it is called as short-term capital loss. I'm repeating, if there is profit on sale of asset and credited in the P&L account credit side, nikal do. It's taxable under fourth head. Business assets, whenever. Acha ma'am, why you are always taking short term and short term? Because it's a crumpled ball of so many plant and machinery. This block plant and machinery में सब आ गया बेटा. Plant 1, 2, 3. They'll to confuse you. They'll give the plant 4 which is sold na. Original cost was itna. That I call it as gossip of no use. Huh. But when the whole block is sold and if there's profit, business asset is always treated as short-term capital asset because we don't keep individually track of which asset is purchased when. Now this is my own made example to make the concept very clear, and after that 7 to 8 questions are there. Huh? I don't know whether it is practice batch or one shot. I can't go too fast कि हाँ ये है हो गया अब आप कर लेना, ऐसे नहीं. बहुत अच्छा एग्जाम्पल एक बार देखो. A asset was there for 100, B was added 20, 120, AB both are sold for 60. So definitely there's a loss. A and B both are sold. Balance depreciation nil because AB both are sold. And there's a loss. A and B is 100, C is added 20, ABC 120, A alone is sold for 60. A alone is sold for 60. Abhi balance में A, B, C were there for 120. A alone is sold for 60. When part of the asset is sold, don't calculate the depreciation. Still B and C are there for 60. Charge depreciation 6 and 54 and 11. Now case 3. A and B are there 100. Huh? C is purchased 120. A alone is sold for 160. Block is still existing. B and C in block may assets are there. Block will continue with nil value. This is my own made table, and with this 100%, if you practice these questions, ना ये वाले सब questions हैं, इतने अच्छे questions हैं, you'll get all the clarity. But first understand this. A, B, C purchased. B and C are there, but A alone is sold for 160. 40 is short-term capital gain. B and C के साथ the block will continue with nil value. Okay. In case if WTV of the block is nil, but assets are existing, yeah, B and C, it will be carried with nil value. Now take B and C. Case 3, second year, next year. D added. D can't shout on top of the voice, I am 50M. No, it's a block. B, C, D all are 50. Nothing is sold. What's the closing WDV? 50. Charge depreciation 10%, 45. Done. Again, bring this 45. I hope you are getting. Otherwise, you can take a screenshot, take your time to understand this. Now, B, C, D is 45. Okay. E is added 90. B, C, D, and E put together 45 plus 90. And if they are all sold for 150, 15 is capital gain. Whenever it is sold, there is profit, short-term capital gain. Loss, short-term capital gains. पूछो कुछ डाउट है? Easy? Yeah. एक बार फिर से. Okay. See, B and C are continuing with nil value. A alone is sold for more, but B और C है ना? फिर D ऐड करो, फिर B C D ऐसे कंटिन्यू. ठीक है? Lot of other rates are given. You can read important ones. I have made you learn. And these are very nice questions. So one more thing is there. Some cases notional depreciation is charged. Do you know how? If a car is purchased in 22 and used personally, in 24 it is brought in business. That time fair market value given is useless. जब भी business में लेके आए, start charging depreciation. If car is used personally, depreciation is for business, not for personal. So no depreciation. But you brought in business in 24 start. Huh. But instead of car, if it is building, if it is used personally and then brought to business, still charge notional depreciation for 22, 23, 23, 24 and bring in business the value 425. हाँ, मार्केट वैल्यू तो कोई काम की नहीं. समझ में आ रहा है? कार which is used for, see, these are small concepts and it's a one shot revision. If I skip one or two concepts, you will not realize, but I'll not get a good sleep. Years I have been teaching and students know कि टिच एकदम clear होगा आपका concept. 100% trust करके सुनो and join the practice batch if you really feel these concepts are new. चलो. Final, to so many students are watching the lectures for capital gain, for salary, for base building. All right. So building used personally and then brought to business charge depreciation. What do you call it? Notionally. Car, not notional. Now there's a concept called as additional depreciation. Okay. Additional depreciation is allowed for all the manufacturers over and above the normal depreciation other than on ships and aircrafts. So it is allowed on plant and machinery. Right. Only SSU is engaged in manufacturing. Additional normal depreciation कितना है बेटा plant and machinery में 15%. और less than 180 days है तो उसका आधा means 7.5%. But if you are a manufacturer, anyone, proprietor, partnership concern, you will get enhanced depreciation at the rate of 20%. If asset is used for less than 180 days, then 10%, and balance 10% next year. This is allowed even to power sector, but it is not allowed even for manufacturer on assets which are used in office, guest house, and road transport. In short, for manufacturer also, additional depreciation is allowed only on the asset which is purchased, say used inside the factory. If you are a manufacturer, plant and machinery जो factory पे उस पे तो additional depreciation you will get. But other than your factory, you have an admin block, you have a sale depot, you have a guest house for your directors. All that additional depreciation will not be allowed. It's not allowed on second-hand plant and machinery or on imported plant and machinery, which is for this very nice questions I have given. And anytime if there is amalgamation and all, say amalgamation is on 30 June 2024. So 3 months the transferor company will charge 9 months. It has to be split. It's a very nice question. If you have the compiler, problem number 9 without fail you check. Even problem number 10 for normal and additional. Additional depreciation समझ में आया बेटा? Power sector can opt for SLM only on tangible assets. Intangible to WDV hai, and you have to decide right in the bill. Okay? Right. Now scientific research. We all know that अच्छा, I have completed depreciation. Look at your watches. आधे घंटे में हमने सिर्फ 30, 31, 32 किया और allowed this. Any doubt till here? No break required. Shall we continue? Scientific research and development is ongoing activity. If in-house any revenue expenditure is incurred, yeah, or capital expenditure is incurred, other than cost of land is not allowed. So revenue expenditure, even capital expenditure, if it is, say capital expenditure, matlab again I told you, you have purchased some machinery or you have purchased computer and you're using it for scientific research, 100% allowed. Revenue and capital expenditure incurred during 3 preceding years also, 100% allowed. Other than cost of land. Now, if you are donating to a company who is 100% involved in the research or in specified businesses like biotechnology, biodrugs, telecommunication, allowed, but cost of land allowed. If you are donating to universities, national laboratories, IITs, Indian Institute of Technology, which are approved, colleges and universities which are approved, it's allowed. But when for scientific research, capital expenditure is also 100% allowed, like laptop and all. Then don't charge depreciation on that. Okay. And whenever it is sold, till the cost, it will be business income, then capital. See, I purchased laptop, 60,000 I have put in PNL account debit side. After using, I discarded it for 65. So till 60, it is business income. 5,000 short-term capital. Same table I have given for revision, then question answer. If you observe, one concept, one question is the funda. And all past exam ke अच्छे questions. These are my own created options also. Right. This is okay that if specified business may 35 AC and all not important. Yeah. Preliminary expenses. When the companies starting the business at that time, you incur a lot of preliminary expense like printing memorandum, articles, prospectus, getting company identification number, DIN number. तो वो जो भी expenditure है, it is allowed 5% of the cost of project or capital employed, which is beneficial, मतलब whichever is higher, and this is allowed 1/5 every year. Preliminary expenses allowed over 5 years. So suppose your preliminary expenditure is 2 lakh divided by 5, 40,000 is allowed every, an audit of accounts is necessary. Last year they gave an amendment that if you are claiming one fifth preliminary expenses in your return, you need to have proper proof of the expenditure. Yeah. और उसी से related question. The next one is just asked in the last exam itself. That is, okay, preliminary expenses clear. 35 AD. There are specified businesses. See, last, if you say few years, it is like Atmanirbhar Bharat. India is developing in infrastructure and in all the other sectors, right? So for that development, they said that if you are doing any of the activities which are mentioned in 35 AD, then subject to the conditions, your revenue and capital expenditure completely will be deducted. For example, India wants to encourage tourism. So say near Agra Taj Mahal or Minakshi Temple, Madurai. These are called as World Heritage Sites in India. To develop the tourism, if you set up 2-star and above hotels, multi-speciality hospital, or taking over the slums and developing. So all this is 35 AD में 100% expenditure is allowed. ठीक है? In 35 AD, 100% expenditure is allowed, whether it is revenue, warehousing activities, operating warehouse, agricultural income, 2-star and above hotel, multi-speciality hospital, slum development, and then making tower and giving them housing projects, production of fertilizers. You need not mug up the name, just know you'll be able to crack it. Warehousing and storage of sugar, bee wax and honey and all, laying of operating pipeline, slurry and all. Okay. So 100% it is allowed. Revenue as well as capital expenditure, except the cost of the land, goodwill and all. Okay. 35 AD. So this deduction is allowed only if the books of accounts are audited, and revenue and capital, all expense are allowed. So if you are buying an asset, you have to hold it at least for 8 years. If you are claiming 35 AD, you can't claim section 10 AA. You know that SCZ unit and double deduction you cannot claim. And for the same, you cannot even claim depreciation. Okay, right. Now see, suppose that your net profit of the business is 80 lakhs. This is just a question. Cost of the land. Land acquired is not allowed. Then building 23, 24, 25, you have these buildings. Plant and machinery 30. So how much you have spent for the specified business of 3-star hotel? 210. And your net profit before this is just 80. So there's a loss of 130. There's a loss of 130 lakhs and it is to be carried forward. Okay? Right. Acha. Whenever there's loss due to 35 AD, it is to be carried forward for indefinite period to be set off only in the specified businesses, but 8 years ka koi limit nahi. Now, very important and small but good concept is suppose it is used for other purpose. We told you 35 AD may say you have purchased 100 rupees asset. We are allowing 100 rupees in the PNL, but use it only for specified business. If you use it for other purpose, then after 2 years, if you use this for non 35 AD purpose, then whole is disallowed. पहले आपको PNL में debit मिला था, now credit in the PNL. But important here is, even though it was debited 100, now credited 100 for 2 years, if this was not allowed in the revenue expenditure, 100, 35D, and that time only it was capitalized, at least you would have charged 2 years depreciation, no? So take it as business income, not 100, but 100 minus 10 and 9, 2 years of depreciation and 80. In short, if the asset is used for purpose other than specified business, Then total amount of deduction less depreciation shall be taken as income. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Okay, right. Very in-depth but nice, easy questions are asked. Voluntary retirement. Whenever as an employer you are paying, VRS to employee 1/5 is allowed for 5 years on payment basis. Okay. Other related, business related deductions are allowed, like insurance premium, group insurance, health insurance you have taken for employee, bonus you give to employee, interest, contribution to approved word is important, provident fund, superannuation fund, gratuity fund, but if it is unapproved it's not allowed. These two I have already made snippet also, and so much response you have given on these 1 minute snippets. See, this we do in labor also, in costing. I am paying you 100 rupees salary, and as an employer, I am contributing 12 rupees to the provident fund. This provident fund can be paid before due date of filing the return, and it is covered under section 43B. आगे आएगा, but ध्यान से सुनो. Employer's contribution to PF, okay, provident fund. If employer forgot to contribute March 25's contribution, no problem. You keep it outstanding, and before due date of filing the return, you can claim. But employee's contribution, out of this 100 employee, I'll deduct 12 and give you 88. In short, I'll put 24 rupees in the PF. Mine, employers, 12 rupees, and employees. Employees' contribution is, instead of paying you 100, I paid 88. 12 rupees which I'm holding is not my money. It's employees' money. So employees' contribution, see, very in-depth we are doing. If it is clear, please comment below PF is clear. If not clear, comment not clear so that I can know how to tackle it. समझ में आ रहा है? मैंने इसका स्निपेट भी बताया, वो तो सबको समझ में आया. देखो, employees contribution to PF should be paid before due date as per the PF Act. That's 15th of the next month. February ka March 15th, March ka April 15th. Ma'am, but if not April 15th, we will pay before due date. No. Employees contribution, if not made by 15th of the next month, it is disallowed. Employer's contribution, if it is not made by the due date, no problem. बाद में कर लेना, ठीक है? So before due date of filing the return also, if you make, it's covered in 43B, allowed. Employees contribution, if you don't make by 15th of next month, disallowed. ठीक है? Right. Bed debts. Bed debts के लिए I have given this table, but नहीं भी करना है तो ये दो चीज याद रखो. What is bed debt? You have sold the goods, party did not pay. You made all the efforts to recover. You have sent him notices, and if you prove to department that sir, bed debts is there, and they allow also after 2-3 years that party is honest. They're saying, sir, that time I didn't have money. Now I'm doing good. God's grace. Take your money. I hope you're getting. I sold you the goods of 10,000. You didn't pay a single penny. I have to put bad debt account debit to party 10,000. Department allowed. After 3 years, you paid me 3,000. Bad debt is recovered. Then it is business income. If bad debt is recovered, bad debt debited in the books, bad debt allowed also. Now recovered. It's business income. But bad debt disallowed 100%. I debited in PNL 10,000. They said, no, this is fake bad debt. You don't have a proof. It's a good data. So that time only it was disallowed. I debited bad debt. Department said it's not allowed, inadmissible, disallowed. They added in my salary. So I've already paid tax on 10,000. Now after 3 years, if I recover now, not taxable again. You're not going to tax it again. Clear to all of you? Yeah? Right. Next is family planning expense. It is allowed only in case of company. Revenue expenditure, 100% allowed. Capital expenditure, 1/5 is allowed. This one is super duper important. Market, very, very important. Taxes and duties. I will give you a list of what is allowed and what is not allowed in default. अभी तो हम पूरा कर रहे हैं देखो. See, GST and custom duty are allowed as business expense. So if refund is received, it's a business income. Interest on late payment of GST is allowed. Penalty is not allowed. Why do you pay penalty? Because you have done something wrong. It's not allowed to debit that as expense. As GST is allowed as expense, refund of GST is business income. Income tax is not allowed as expense because you're not paying income tax only on your business income. You're paying income tax on house property, capital gain, salary, other source. Income tax is not allowed as business expense. So income tax refund is not a business income, right? And interest on refund, interest. So in the P&L account credit side after the GP, if they give you income tax refund, say 6 rupees, it's not my business income, nikal do. Huh. But in income tax refund 6 rupees, 1 rupee is interest. Interest on income tax refund is taxable under income from other source section 56. Other source. Income tax is not a business expenditure. Income tax refund is not a business income. Easy. STT section 36(1)(10). Security transaction tax you pay while you buy and sell shares. But if buying and selling the shares is your stock in trade, then STT is allowed. If you hold the shares as capital asset, market very important. STT is not allowed as expense if you hold the securities as your capital asset. Same way CTT. Commodity transaction tax you pay on crude oil and some metals and all. If commodity trading is treated as business, opening stock, purchase, sale, तो फिर CTT is allowed, otherwise not allowed. Discount on zero coupon bonds. IDBI flexi bonds, deep discount bonds. Banks are issuing bonds, debentures at deep discount, 82. And on maturity, bank will give you 100 rupees. Huh? Maybe say after 6 years. Every year you will not get 6 months interest. Now you got the bonds at 82. After 6 years, we'll give you 100. So for the bank or the company, is 18 rupees an expense? Yeah. If it is for 6 years, can they apportion it over the 18 lakhs by 6? Done. Clear to all of you? Yeah. Right? Huh. Contribution to the national pension scheme. Employer can contribute basic and DA ka 14% in the national pension scheme if he is opting in for default tax regime. If you opt out of default tax regime, you don't go in 115 BAC, then as an employer, you can contribute to national pension scheme, not 14% of basic and DA, just 10%. Is this clear? Other than this, general deductions are allowed, but in that, see, all the deductions cannot be given. No, there are 110 natures of business. For me, my laptop, my touch screen, this is all asset. But for a person who is dealing in laptops, uske liye to stock hai. So they said all the expenditures are allowed in section 30 to 36. In 37 general, it will be allowed if it is not capital, not personal, and it is spent exclusively for business and profession. So allowed hai. But they are saying in that, don't try to claim any penalty, any offense, any bribes and all. That's not business expenditure. Ma'am, but to my restaurant, I have to bribe corporation people and all. No, that's not allowed. Okay? Company related, as I said, read it. Company related expenses are allowed. Debentures issue, bonus, and all the expenses are allowed. Bonus, buyback, and all. But where your capital is changing, you are coming up with a new public offering, shares you are issuing, and all. It's a capital expenditure, it's not allowed. Now we are going to the most important list, what is not allowed as business expenditure. Income tax, STT, interest, penalty, not allowed. Fees paid to registrar to increase the authorized capital, not allowed. Taxpayer would not be entitled to deduction if he gives advertisement in a political party's magazine, pamphlet, one side political party sign, next side your company's ad. No. See, general advertisement expense are allowed, but this is not allowed. Any tax paid by employer, any tax paid of the employee by employer, your own income tax is not allowed. Why you are paying the tax of your employee? Not allowed. Transfer to reserves and provisions. Provisions are not actual expense, they are just estimate, not allowed. Transfer to this reserve, that reserve is not expense. You are taking the profit in one pocket and keeping it in dividend equalization reserve, investment allowance reserves. So transfer to reserve is not an expense, it's not allowed. Provisions are not allowed. These one liner questions are very, very important. Okay. Any payment, interest, salary, royalty, fees, if you pay to an NRI outside India and by mistake you paid 100%, you forgot to deduct the TDS, then it is disallowed. If interest is paid in India without TDS, 30% is disallowed. In foreign country, 100%. If you remember, just more than enough. And like payment of income tax, says surcharge, nothing is allowed. Yeah. Acha, can you make payment to your relative? Say my son is working in our firm, so can we pay him salary, brokerage? Yes, it's allowed. But if it is unreasonable, it will be disallowed. If it is unreasonable, ma'am, who will decide unreasonable? Department. Department will say salary paid to son 80,000 is allowed only 60,000. So 20,000 is the excess salary not allowed at bank. Yeah. Very important is in a single day, payment related to business expenditure, revenue या capital, above 10,000 in a single day to a single person, you can't pay in cash. Otherwise, it will be disallowed. Say I go to a wholesale stationery market and I get my yearly business stationery for 12,000 rupees and I pay cash. Is it a business related expense? Did I get stationery for my business? Yes. But did I get it in cash? Disallowed. Not allowed. बिल्कुल नहीं मिलेगा 12,000 मैम अच्छा ठीक है 10,000 तक तो कैश में अलाउ करो once above 10,000 expenditure is done in cash it is completely disallowed. Okay, right, except like government payment or payment to a tribal person where banks and all are not there. Okay, now yeah, single day, single person. Can I pay 6,000 payment to A party today only? B को 4,000, C को 8,000. Total तो exceed हो गया, चलेगा. But to A, morning 6,000, evening 8,000, not allowed. In a single day to single person, business related payment, not allowed. Yeah, except in case of transporter, a person who is making payment for flying, hiring, leasing, business, and all. Transport related payments, on road they pay toll and this and that. अब वो भी fast tag हो गया है. Cashless government we are going. All UPI online modes are available. So there still the limit is 35,000. Okay, right. Now, if there is foreign exchange fluctuation, okay, that means if you purchase a asset from foreign country, that time it was $100 at 82. But when you decided to make payment, it went on to 88. So what extra you are paying It's a loss P&L debit side. If there is income P&L credit side. If it is related to revenue. हाँ, अगर capital है, you have purchased a machinery at 8,200. This is my own made example. I'm revising the concepts, but if you say, मैम पूरे examples भी कराओ तो वो practice batch हो जाएगा. आप book ले लो, पढ़ लो उसमें से बेटा. Buy the book, order for the compiler. You will get hard copy, courier, everything at www.cadiptichheda.com. CHHEDA.com. And any queries you have, you can message us on 92900 65156. WhatsApp your query, will surely be willing to help. हाँ, अगर asset you purchased at 8,200 and now it has become 8,800, then capitalize in the books. Credit भी है तो asset में credit कर. 43B. Last add and less section. 43B clearly says that if there are certain payments, you could not make it in March and it's outstanding. You know what people do? Salary to outstanding, interest to outstanding, bonus to outstanding. Outstanding pada rehta hai. You have debited as expense and put it in outstanding and reduce the profit. Who's going to pay that outstanding? So department said few expenses, if they are outstanding in March, make sure you paid before due date of filing the return under section 43B. Is this clear to all of you? Huh? Ma'am, ये बहुत आता है एग्जाम में and this is very very important. 43B. Before due date of filing the return, you paid. So if March it is outstanding and due date of filing the return is July 25, उसके पहले pay कर दो. Ma'am, I paid, but I was late. Sorry, I paid in October 25. So now, to for 24-25, that expenditure will be disallowed. But you paid in October 25, no? 25-26, it will be allowed. That's little leniency, you can say, but it's अब है तो है. ठीक है? चलो 43 भी पढ़ते हैं बेटा. Any sum payable by way of tax or duty or cess by whatever name called. So government payment, GST and all, if it is outstanding, paid. Contribution by employer to superannuation fund, PF, bonus, commission, interest paid to any banks, employee related payment, PF and all, it is covered. If you don't pay now, pay it before due date of filing the return, say 31st July, और अगर ऑडिट हो रहा है तो सितंबर के पे कर दिया तो अलाउड. Last year they have added that if there is a micro and small enterprise and you have purchased from them and you have decided to pay them, then pay them before the due date, max to max 45 days. But if you have purchased a micro and small enterprise and there's no agreed due date, then you have to pay them within 15 days of the day of purchase. If they are covered in MSME and you have purchased the goods, make sure you pay them within 15 days from date of purchase. If not, if there is no agreement. If there is agreement, then due date, yeah, not exceeding for उसके पहले तो आप दे ही दो. ठीक है? Right. चलो. So 43B, very nice questions I have given here. Stamp duty value is same concept, but if it is held as stock in trade, still if actual sale consideration is 80 lakhs, stamp duty value is 95 lakhs, you have to take the stamp duty. Just like I don't want to take it, capital gain may we have done same concept. Okay. All right. So here we have completed add less. After this, normally we do the add and less questions. If any expenditure is debited and disallowed, अभी हमने देखा section 40 disallowed. Sections, yeah, very important. If you can remember specifically, right, otherwise no problem. Don't take too much burden of sections, which are very important. I'll make you learn. ये देखो. If you have debited expense, it's disallowed, scratch. So what's the impact on profit? If you reduce expense, profit will increase. So add expenses which are disallowed. If you have already taken the income in the P&L credit side, it's garbage. It's not business income. Nikal do less. So like this, you have to remember the add and less. Now we are doing section 44 series and very nice bit by bit, one mark ke three like that superb questions are asked. If you check, it's one concept, one question. In regular batch, so it takes 8 to 10 classes, but even in fast track, I have taken 4.5 classes to complete the business head because it is vast. Sure. Yeah. Compulsory maintenance of the accounts. Okay. Now, what is this? Compulsory maintenance of the accounts. Section 44A says if your income exceeds this limit or your gross receipts exceed this, you have to maintain the books of accounts as per 44AA. In case of individual and HF, if income exceeds 250 or the gross receipts or turnover exceed 25 lakhs in any of the 3 years, means once if it exceeds, then that year and next 2 years, so you'll have to maintain. For others, other than individual and HUF, if income exceeds 120, gross receipts exceed 10 lakhs in any of the 3 years, then you have to maintain the books of accounts for 3 years. In case of professionals, if the gross receipts exceed 1,25,50,000 in all the 3 years, take your time. I know these are like limits, थोड़ा सा याद करना पड़ेगा. In case of individual and HUF, if your income exceeds 250 or in case of new business, it is likely to exceed 250, gross receipts exceed 25 lakhs, then you have to, in any of the 3 years, you have to maintain the books. So here it has exceeded. Next year down bhi hai to, last year to it exceeded now, so you have to maintain for 3 years. In case of others, if income is more than 120, gross receipts are more than 10 lakhs. And for the professionals, if the gross receipts exceed 1,50,000. Okay. So you have to maintain all these books at the place of the business 6 years from the end of assessment year. So from the financial year end, 6 years from the end of assessment year. Financial year is 24-25. Assessment year is 25-26 से 6 years. So यहाँ से कितने years होंगे from the financial year? 7 years. Right? And related to that questions. Now audit. If your business turnover exceeds 1 crore or if you are a professional and your gross receipts exceed 50 lakhs, you have to get your books audited by a chartered accountant and submit the audit report. Okay? Right. Except if you're going for 44 AD, then even if your turnover is up to 2 crore, no problem. Huh? Right. One more thing is there. If your turnover exceeds more than 1 crore, get your books audited. Professional hai to gross receipts exceed 50 lakhs, get your books audited. But here, very important is if your cash receipts are just less than 5% of total receipts, means all your business is online, then not 1 crore, up to 3 crore you can go without audit. समझ में आ रहा है? You can go without audit. ये देखो एक और चेंज आया है इसमें. If your cash receipts are less than 5% of your total receipts, cash payments are less than 5% of the total payment. Okay, then up to 10 crore, you don't have to get your books audited. Generally, above 1 crore, get your books audited. Above 50 lakhs professional income, get your books audited. But if your cash receipts are just 5% of total receipts and simultaneously even all the payments are online, then up to 10 crores, you don't have to get audit. But if your turnover exceeds 10 crore, even if it's 100% non-cash, you have to get your books audited. ठीक है? Right. All right. An audit report has to be submitted by 30th of September. Otherwise, there's a fine of 0.5% turnover or 150, whichever. 1,50,000. वो भी सिर्फ penalty, interest और बाकी सब अलग. Now see, what is section 44AA? Maintain the books. What is 44AB? Get it audited. Now we are going for section 44AD. It is optional. No need to maintain books. No need to get it audited. Obviously, अगर books ही नहीं है तो audit कहाँ कराओगे? If your turnover is up to 2 crore and you are ready to show net profit 8% or above on the turnover. समझ में आ रहा है? This is specifically for small traders. Say my turnover is 60 lakhs. 60 lakhs का 8%. 4,80,000. If I am ready to show net profit, that means in 92% all my expenditures have come. Ma'am, but मेरा net profit 8 है ही नहीं. मेरा तो 3% है. Then maintain books, get it audited, go. 44AD says that if your turnover is up to 2 crore, you can maintain books and go for audit and all normal. Or if your turnover is less than 2 crore, optional. You are resident individual, HUF, partnership firm. बस ये तीन कोई option है, not even LLP. Resident individual, HUF, partnership firm have option that on 2 crore profit, up to 2 crore. Net profit you show 8%. In that also, if it is electronic turnover, then just show the net profit 6%. Then no need to maintain the books and no need to get it audited. 44AD provision is not applicable for a person carrying on professionals, interior decorator and all, because for them 44AD A is there. और एक आ गया है right? Person carrying on commission and brokerage business or person carrying on agency business. ये तीन के लिए applicable. You got what is 44AD? हाँ छोटे see जिसका 60 lakhs का turnover, if you ask maintain books, get it audited, से मैं business करूँगी मैं क्या करूँ? So don't maintain the books and anyhow turnover detail will be there above 20 lakhs GST के लिए. So on your turnover just declare 8% or 14% or 9%, whatever you like, profit, and no one is going to ask you about the books. ठीक है? 44AD threshold limit is 2 crore. It is 3 crore if the cash receipts does not exceed 5%. तो फिर 3 crore books maintain नहीं करना. Confused or clear? देखो, to get it audited, the limit is 1 crore and 50 lakhs. For 44AD, it is 2 crores. But for 44AD, it will be 3 crore if your cash receipts does not exceed 5% of total receipts. 10 crore किसके लिए है? वो तो audit के लिए. If your cash receipts are less than 5% of total payments are 5%, then 10 crore. No problem. Related to that questions also I have given. Even if it is a partnership firm, resident individual HF, salary remuneration to partners will also be not allowed. 92 में सब आ गया. Your depreciation, scientific research और 8% तो बताना पड़ेगा. Very important point for MCQs and case scenarios. Because 44AD people are not maintaining books, only on turnover estimated basis they are calculating their net profit. They can pay advance tax in single fourth installment before 15th of March. Clear? If see 44AD is optional, but if you go, you have to follow for continuous 5 years. 44AD, kabhi book, kabhi ऐसे नहीं होगा. If you opt out, again you can't go in the 44AD. In case of non-offering 44AD for continuous 5 years, eligible SSC cannot opt for 44AD for next 5 years. जाओ तो continuous 5 years follow करो. If you come out, Again, you can't opt in for the next 5 years. These are very nice study material questions, and each bit is so superb. So, with my conceptual revision, this one shot, if you revise, you will get. Acha, same presumptive taxation is there for professionals. If the gross receipt does not exceed 50 lakhs, show 50% as net profit. हाँ, and if your cash receipts are less than 5%, तो फिर ये 75 lakhs होगा. There, I think इसके लिए मैंने ना एक बहुत अच्छा table I have made in the notebook. In our practice batch, we have made a very nice table format of computation. So many questions. Yeah. Maintain books of accounts 44A. Mandatory audit 44AB. Above 1 crore business, above 50 lakhs professionals, above 10 crore business. Now, 44AD is presumptive taxation for business. This is for professionals. Up to 2 crore, up to 50 lakhs. Show 8% net profit, 6% digital के केस में यहाँ 50%. Huh? If cash receipts are less than 5% of total receipts, then this 2 crore limit is becoming 3 crore. This 50 lakhs is becoming 75 lakhs. That no problem. If you are a professional and you are doing all online receipts and all, no problem. All deductions are assumed to be given, even salary and remuneration. You know, in the practice batch, when I take 4-5 classes, I'll make you learn this. Advanced tax also in single installment. Okay? Last one is presumptive taxation for vehicles. If any time during the year you are having less than up to 10 vehicles and yours is a transport business, then on the light goods vehicle, show 7,500 per month income per vehicle per month. Even part of the month. If you have purchased a vehicle on 22nd February, तब भी February and March के लिए लगे. Heavy goods vehicle, 1,000 per ton per vehicle per month. Ma'am, how do you say it's a heavy goods vehicle? 12,000 kg and above. मतलब 12 tons से ज़्यादा. So there, show the income 1,000 per ton per vehicle per month. Say it is 13 tons. So 13 add कर दो. Light goods vehicle is 7,500. But in 44A, salary and remuneration to partner is allowed. There it was not allowed. Here it is allowed. Very nice questions we have solved. Aja. Clear to all of you what is 44 AD and ADA? यहाँ भी मैंने difference दिया है. Light goods vehicle 7,500. Heavy goods vehicle 1,000 per ton per vehicle per month and so on. Okay. Non-residents are paying tax on presumptive basis. You can't say to non-resident aircraft or shipping company, please go now, listen, but come in July 25, pay the tax and file the return. No. So if a non-resident is doing shipping business, whatever receipts they have made in India, 7.5% pay net profit, pay tax on profit and go. Business and providing plant and machinery on extraction, 10%. Business and operation of aircraft. This is not there for the CA. CMA में भी सिर्फ बस प्रिंट कर दिए. ये देखो बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है. Instead of net profit, add and less, they have given receipt and payment, and they have asked you to compute income. It's easy. Just take professional income. Just take all professional expenses. In payments, purchase of car, capital expenditure भी है, revenue भी है. तो revenue ले लो. Capital के पे you can charge depreciation. So it's actually very nice. Here house property income is also there. Business income, it's very easy. And then they can give you problem ki, yeah, like this one. Shivam is maintaining P&L और उसका 50,000 income है. Yeah, right. And 50,000 income है. उसका. And then if he decides he want to go for presumptive taxation, so on turnover show net profit, whichever is beneficial, he can go for that. See, add less, these are the jumbo questions like bed debt, not allowed earlier. That time only taxable. Ab recovered हुआ. Now it is not a business income. Remove. देखो less में होगा 7,000. So I'm not discussing the question answers and presentation also in my book. Not big working notes like in your MTPs and suggested answers. Only relevant which you should write. And it is having almost like more than 39-40 questions. Okay, right. That's all for 44. ये देखो बेटा 44AA maintain the books. 44AB get it audited. 44AD presumptive taxation for business. 44ADA presumptive taxation for professionals. And 44AE vehicles के लिए presumptive taxation. These are linked. You learn it, revise it. हाँ? मैं भी बहुत मेहनत कर रही हूँ in making the book, in giving you the snippets, in giving you the revision lectures. Now you work the problem. If you have any doubt, ask. But again, I am saying you are bigger than your environment, you and your studies. करना है तो करना है, पढ़ना है तो पढ़ना है, no excuses. Okay, बेटा. चलो, last one now. In case of partnership firm, interest you can pay to partners maximum as per 12% or given in the deed. Okay, right. It should be authorized in the deed. So whatever is paid, if it is authorized in the deed and it is allowed. But in deed, if they give 18%, how much you will allow? 12. Indeed, if they give 8%, yeah. So lower of actually paid as per deed and 12%. इसके लिए मैंने ये एग्जाम्पल पूरे दिए हैं. हाँ, like it is actually paid 15, but deed तो silent है. Now, if deed is silent, don't say, ma'am, in income tax we can pay 12% interest on capital. No, nil. 12% is allowed subject to mentioned in deed. Deed में ही नहीं है तो कैसे allow कर? So this is interest is paid 36,000, 18%. But allowed is only 12%. 18% is this, 12% is how much that is allowed. 6% is disallowed. Are you all with me? Interest on capital is paid, is allowed as per actually paid, mentioned in deed or maximum 12%. 12% is upper limit, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं मिलेगा. Now what I am teaching is remuneration to the partners, and there's a change. Salary remuneration you can pay to working partner till last year up to 3,90%, balance 60%. This time the limit is doubled and they're going to ask question. I've posted a separate 20 minutes video in detail where I have I have taught how to calculate and I've solved question answers also. Okay, chalo. Let us take it up, beta. Salary, bonus, commission, remuneration paid by partners. It should be allowed as per deed. It is given to the working partner up to 6 lakhs of the book profit. What is book profit, beta? After add and less. What profit you get, you call it as book profit. So up to 6 lakhs of the book profit, 90% of book profit you can pay. In case of loss, you can't say sorry, working partner, you worked really hard, but now loss hai. How do we give loss ka 90%? In case of loss, minimum 3 lakh remuneration you can pay to all the working partners. So up to 6 lakhs of profit, or in case of loss, 3 lakh or 90% of the book profit. On the balance, 60% of the book profit. Are you all with me? Up to 6 lakhs, or in case of loss, 3 lakh or 90% of the book profit. And on balance, I think I'll show you one problem, so it will be very clear. ऐसे करते हैं ना problem. Yeah. Suppose your net profit as per the partnership firm, ये partnership firm का question है 325. Routine, add back the salary paid to working partner because you want profit before the working partner. Interest paid to partner, ये भी add back कर दो. ठीक है? PF और वो सब disallowed सब add back, dividend is not. So you get routine 618. In 618 up to 6 lakhs, 90% or 3 lakh, whichever is higher. So 90%, 540, and balance 60%. This is the maximum remuneration you can pay. If you have actually paid lower than that, allow that. This is the upper limit. And I want you to learn it by hook and crook. ये पक्का आएगा और इसके प्रॉब्लम्स और एक यूट्यूब का वीडियो है, उसको जाके देखो आप. ठीक है? राइट. I'll tell you how. Up to 6 lakhs or in case of loss, 3 lakh or 90% of book profit, whichever is higher, and on the balance 60%. ठीक है? Right. बहुत अच्छे questions हैं ये सब remuneration के. See here it is 511. So 511 का 90% or 3 lakh, whichever is higher, so 460. But this is maximum remuneration pay. They have paid 190. Allow 190. This is the maximum paid. Okay, right. So that's all for your syllabus. For CMA students, I will take it separately, wherein that tea, coffee, rubber development and all and license fees is there. I'll take a small video separately. Please check that in the YouTube playlist. I am working super hard to give you the best of the concept. सिर्फ मैं रिविजन ही नहीं करते जा रही हूँ, then I would have completed in 45 minutes. I have discussed the examples also. Now, if you want this in depth, join the practice batch. And if you're writing for September, join the regular batch. Okay, so like this, and I'm also giving snippets, 1 minute snippets for rapid revision, you can say. Okay, that are also very helpful. Only my request is leave aside everything, work hard. Now and then doubt will come कि करूं या ना करूं. Last time भी 181 पे रह गया, नहीं हुआ. Ask yourself honestly, what went wrong? You were hardworking. You attended coaching. You wrote chapter-wise exam. Did you mark properly what is to be revised one day before exam? Did you do the gist revision? और या कुछ chapter बहुत अच्छे revise किए, कुछ छूट गए. 15 minutes of reading time, did you utilize properly? Huh? So be honest with yourself. You are not here to answer me, to your parents, or to your friends. Answer to yourself. What went wrong? Take the correct action and leave aside everything else. You are bigger than your environment. Work super duper hard and all success is yours. Today also, post 25 years, I qualified in 1999 November exam, but the result came in January 2000 and it's 25. Still the heads are turning when you say you are a chartered accountant. That after qualification, what you do, you are in practice, you are in job, you are in teaching, that adds on to your experience. But it makes a difference, and you will then, if you're hardworking, if you're skillful, if you're ready to learn theory, concept, practical, you will have a wonderful life and you will be able to return to your society, to your family. So work very hard. I'm working hard. Stay connected with me. Next one-shot revision is super duper important for capital gain with all curated example covering up amendment. Did you like the booster notes which I have shared in between? 44 AD, block of asset के लिए हाँ मैंने एक ही कलर से लिखी हूँ, उसको मैंने डेकोरेट नहीं की हूँ अलग अलग कलर से. I think it doesn't make difference. The core concept is important. All your suggestions are welcome. I'm teaching since more than 2 decades, but ये ही सही है ऐसे मैं नहीं बोल रही. If you feel anything is lacking, anything more you want help from me, do let me know. And let us close with our by-hearted prayer. I love myself. I accept myself. Stop criticizing yourself for small thing that loses your energy. I take 100% responsibility of all my actions, behaviors, emotions. When you take responsibility, you have all the power. whatever I'm learning, I'm able to recollect and reproduce in the exam. Super duper well, right? Thank you so much. Stay connected. Wish you very all the best for your preparation. Anywhere you are stuck up, 92900 65156 is WhatsApp number. Don't keep calling. Put a chat over there. Me or my team will surely get back to you. Order the book. It's honestly बहुत मेहनत की है. One concept, one example. Exam के लिए मतलब आपका 1500 पेज का मटेरियल और ये 350 पेज का book. I think it's worth going for it. Bye bye, all of you.